Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're doing more Nightmare Cups, and we're actually using one of my favorite, or now favorite Pokemon in this cup, Xatu. Absolutely love it. It's by far one of the best Pokemon for this cup. You have to use it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, guys. It's definitely a Pokemon similar to Shiftry, a Pokemon I feel like you absolutely have to have as your team of 6 Pokemon. Now, if you're going up against somebody in the tournament that has like 6 dark types, you're not going to bring it with you, right? Probably not. But I'm just saying you should have it definitely as one of your 6 Pokemon. It's definitely worth it. I was unsure about it, honestly, until I used it. But no, it's one Pokemon that I am 99.9% sure that I'm going to use on my finalized team, and that video is not going to come now, of course, but it's definitely a solid Pokemon. Love using it, just like I loved using the Alolan Raichu. I loved using Shiftry, so we're using it in this video. I think we have a couple battles without it in the beginning because I recorded these a day before I actually invested in a Xatu. So yeah, we have a couple battles before using it, but it's definitely a solid Pokemon. Definitely one of my favorite Pokemon. Well, no, actually, it's not one of my favorites. I don't like Xatu and Natu that much at all. But like when it comes to this cup, I actually like them. I don't like them as too much as Pokemon. I apologize if anybody is a huge fan of those Pokemon, but they're not my favorites. But when it comes to this cup, definitely got to use it. I totally recommend it, guys. I can't recommend it enough. It's definitely a solid Pokemon. Definitely a good Pokemon to use. One of my favorites. The only downside to it is that it's really frail, so its defense is absolute garbage. I mean, its defense is so bad that Shiftry's Razor Leaf, something that it resists, is doing a lot of damage to it. I mean, Razor Leaf is powerful to begin with, but I'm just saying, it's like, even things that it resists. I mean, obviously, fighting moves that count that which shouldn't do much to it because it 4 times resists that, right? So, but in general, I'm just saying. But other than that, I mean, it has 2 charge moves that 3-bar charge moves, and they charge up so fast. So yeah, definitely gotta go for it. It's an awesome Pokemon. I don't regret investing in it at all. I had one around 1300 CP, and I invested in that one because it was cheaper than getting a new one. It doesn't have the greatest IVs for PvP, but for me that's okay because I just wanted to save Stardust, and I only had to power it up a little bit, so definitely totally worth it for me. Love using it, can't recommend it enough. Anyway, we just did, what was that, the second battle? I believe this was the second battle, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into more battles. I believe I start using Xatu in this one, but right now we're beginning with Drapion. He does have his skunk tank, and yeah, just going to charge up Aqua Tail a little bit, getting that off, hoping to do a lot of damage to it. Of course, it's not going to do a lot, but it does charge up super fast, so that Flamethrower hit us for more than Aqua Tail hit him. But we have the second one ready to go, so we're actually in the lead. He's going to not be able to get off a move. I actually thought he knocked us out. No, he does knock us out, excuse me. I was going to say I thought he knocked us out. He did, but because he used the shield. So for me, that was totally worth it. I'm going to bring in my Shiftry, a Pokemon that I absolutely love using. He brings in Toxicroak. I switch immediately. And I thought he was going to switch here, but then I was thinking maybe he doesn't have a counter. I blocked that. Thinking it might have been Mud Bomb, but I didn't want to take any chances because I wanted to save my Xatu. He brings in Shiftry, and now I know why he didn't switch out, because we have that Aerial Ace, which will absolutely destroy Shiftry. So awesome counter to Shiftry, awesome counter to fighting types. It is a psychic Pokemon. We don't have any psychic moves, but we have that Air Slash, so we have flying moves that can hit the fighting types, so that's okay. Now this battle, I kind of made a mistake. I switched out immediately, which allowed him to switch out into a Alolan Raichu. One thing I've learned from these battles is I really don't like switching first, and I mean, I didn't learn it from this battle, but I basically reconfirmed it to myself. I probably shouldn't have switched. I just should have let the battle play out as it stood, and right here, because I got the buff, I decided to shield. But it didn't matter because I was so low anyway, so I shouldn't have shielded that. So a couple misplays on my end. But at this point, or at least right after that switch, I felt like that was a mistake because he was able to switch again. So now he has his Power Up Punch Hitmonchan. So yeah, he's absolutely destroyed me. So we're back to the beginning of the battle, basically. He hits his Hitmonchan against my Skorupi. He's going to destroy me. We could have gotten off several Aqua Tails. I should not have switched. But that's okay. It is what it is. We did switch and we took a loss, but that's okay. You live, you learn. You practice, and that's how you get better. So beginning with Poliwrath this time, and he does begin with his Hitmonchan. Gonna take a lesson from my last battle, and I'm not going to switch. He actually gets off his Power Up Punch first, unfortunately. I felt like if we had Mudshot, we would have gotten it off first. Mudshot is the better option. Some of you had asked me that, but if you don't have Mudshot, I'd go with Bubble. It's almost as good, if not just as good. Not just as good. I mean, Mudshot is a little bit better, but Bubble is still good. So we do go ahead and knock him out. He brings in Shiftry, gonna knock us out. We're gonna switch into that Xatu. He's gonna switch into his Umbreon. Umbreon would have destroyed Xatu, excuse me, it would have destroyed Xatu, but we do bring in this Shiftry. Now, I go ahead and use Leaf Tornado instead of Leaf Blade because I wanted to lower his attack. That was my goal, just in case he knocked out my Shiftry. His Dark moves wouldn't do as much to my Xatu, so I was using that Leaf Tornado to try and lower his attack, considering he could have also blocked as well. Which is what he did. So we do bring in Xatu, and we actually do go ahead and knock out his Umbreon, and now his last Pokemon is going to be that Shiftry, and Flying moves is just going to be enough to be able to knock it out. Luckily, he wasn't able to charge up any moves. You know, we only got, what was that, one ring in that against Shiftry, but we were still able to win. Obviously, you want to go for the 3 rings. You guys know that. But now we begin with Drapion. He begins with Slowking. Surprised at this point he doesn't switch out. I'm going to go for the Crunch, hoping to bluff the Aqua Tail. It actually works, and he does not block it. I was thinking he would block it, but I guess he didn't want to chance it. I blocked that Psychic because we're in a good position at this point. We have moves ready to go. I was going to switch, but I decided not to just because I saw how much my Poison Jab was doing to that Shiftry, as it should because it's a poison move. But Leaf Blade will knock us out, so we'll go ahead and think about it for a little bit. Both are good counters. I decided to bring in Toxicroak to see what he's going to bring in. It's going to be that shiny Umbreon. Getting off a Dynamic Punch, hoping to bluff the Mud Bomb, and it works out just fine for us. He's going to go ahead, use his Foul Play. It doesn't matter. We go ahead and knock out shiny Umbreon. So, didn't even use that to that game, but yeah, another good game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into, you guessed it guys, another battle. This time beginning with Drapion. He does begin with Toxicroak. Now this is the battle where I really learned not to switch out, even though he could get off his Mud Bomb really fast and do a lot of damage to us. So we get off that Aqua Tail. He's going to go ahead and block that. A little surprised he blocked it, actually. I didn't think he would have blocked it, but he knocked us out. So not looking too good for us, but keep in mind he is down a shield, and we bring in Xatu. Thought he was going to switch. He does go for that Sludge Bomb. He does not switch. I thought he would switch maybe into Umbreon, which I was surprised he didn't actually, but we do go ahead and get off Aerial Ace. I guess he didn't want to switch because then I would have been able to switch into Toxicroak. So he switches now into Shiftry. Shiftry isn't good against Toxicroak, but then again, neither is Umbreon, so I guess it didn't matter at that point. But we do go ahead and block that Foul Play. Just charging up moves, going for a Mud Bomb. At this point, it didn't matter. You know, he could have blocked the Mud Bomb as he did. But right now he uses Foul Play, not going to knock us out, and we're going to be able to actually get off another Mud Bomb against that shiny Umbreon and take the game. So yet another good game. Another good game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into, I believe this is the second to last battle. I'm using my Toxicroak to begin with. He's using his own Toxicroak. So I'm just staying in as he is. He's going to actually pull the switch. So I decided to hold off on my moves to see what it is. I switched into Shiftry because I knew Razor Leaf would be doing a good amount of damage to Xatu, so I do go ahead and shield that up. We both faint at the same time, but I'm down a shield, so it's looking pretty bad for me. I do have that Xatu though, so I can go in against that Toxicroak. I wanted to block it just because I didn't want to take any chances. Gonna go ahead and knock it out just fine, and he brings in his final Pokemon, Shiftry. Going to go ahead for that Aerial Ace, doing a lot of damage, and we're going to be able to knock it out. So a really fast game, but we actually do go ahead and sneak in that win, even though he did go ahead and knock us out first. But I guess because he went down a shield early on, we were able to win. But this match, I'm beginning with Skuntank. He begins with Toxicroak. So again, a bad lead for us, I guess. Well, at least not the greatest lead, but I decided to stick around because I didn't really want to switch because I didn't want him to switch again. Bringing in Xatu, one of my favorite Pokemon for this cup, as I have mentioned throughout this video. And he's going to go ahead, switch into Umbreon, so I knew I had to switch ASAP. Now, Umbreon, without Last Resort, can't really do a lot to Shiftry. In fact, can't do anything. He actually switches into Slowking, I was questioning that switch. He said it was an accidental switch, which I totally believe. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But again, I don't think it mattered a whole lot. Similar to my other game, I was trying to lower his attack just in case I needed that shift tree or he knocked out my shift tree and I brought in Xatu. I wanted his Dark Moves to do a lot less to me. That's why I was going for Leaf Tornado, just to continue to try to lower his attack. And it worked. We did lower his attack. But I don't think we needed... Actually, we did bring in Xatu. So, but again, it didn't matter about lowering his attack because we have a shield and we're able to use Aerial Ace. But... we didn't want to take any chances, so we do go ahead and win that game. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.